Hello and welcome to another episode of Outlanders. We're up to episode 25 and we're once again starting things off in our farming level. It's been a long time since we've been down here and made any significant progress, but we're down here in order to make some big progress and some big new farms. Now, we've got ourselves a new bit over here which I've been working on for a little bit, on and off, which is of course taking a little bit of time, but you can see I've got ourselves the pathway all done. Now, I believe last episode I said I'd get some wood from Blue, so basically some crimson and some warped wood while I was at it to finish this stuff off, and I believe he is ready to pass stuff on to me, so let's go meet up with him now. Well, hello Blue.
Oh, hi.
Welcome. I see you have finally got my order of all those logs.
Yes, sir.
It must have taken you a long time.
Absolutely.
That is what I'm talking about. Crimson logs. Warped logs. And I did say I've got a little bit of a bonus for you, since I think I may have shortchanged you a little bit with the 120 diamonds and 4 stacks of iron.
Alright.
So, have a bonus.
Yo!
16 diamonds worth of iron. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's the market value.
No, 16 diamonds is kind of a lot for iron.
Yes, this is going to be very useful indeed, so thank you very, very much, Blue.
No problem. I kind of color-coded in stuff just for my organization, but
yes,
you can undye them.
That is helpful. Thank you indeed. And I guess we'll see you later.
Alright, see ya.
Now that we've got ourselves the warped wood, 2 shulkers of warped wood, 2 shulkers of crimson logs, I believe we should be able to get ourselves a reasonable start on this stuff. So we don't need the crimson logs for now, so we'll put that down to our sorting system, and we'll keep the rest of the warped logs up here ready for use. So if I put this all through the sorting system, that should hopefully filter through, as well as fill up that particular sorting column, which I don't think it has been yet. So let's get that done. And with that done, I think we should start by putting in some of the first bits. Now, the first bits really involve the floors of this bit, so the warped wood that goes underneath here, underneath this block, and that is where the rails go. So we need to put in quite a lot of that, and we also need to put in these thingamabobs, these staircases on the outside where these warped stems, or whatever these are called. So we're going to have to get a whole lot of these, which is why I got so much of this, and put in a lot of staircases and other things. So, boom, 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 boom. We should be able to get a lot of that and get started. And after a couple of days' work, we've got ourselves the fully decked out wood floor. Now, let's get rid of the switch. The next bit we have to do, of course, is put in the rails and the floor and the ceilings and all that. There's quite a bit more work to do. We're going to have to go to the nether to get ourselves some more warped wart, and we probably will have to go in to get some more shroom lights as well, because these sea lanterns aren't quite what I'm looking for. Anyway, we need to work out how we're going to do the rails, and this one's going to be a little bit trickier than what we've got under here, partly because of the shape. This one curves a lot more than this one does, and at least this one has some flat and square edges, whereas these ones do not. So let's get our rails out and experiment a little. This might take a fair bit of time to work out, and we're going to have to do the pattern 4 times to make sure we've got all of these. Then again, we've also got to make sure that we funnel the new crops into their appropriate sorting areas, which could be a little bit more difficult than it looks. So let's get started on the rails. A little bit of time has passed and we've got ourselves one completed rail link. Now, just after building this, I did realize that the bits here and surrounding these bits here, so exactly on top of this, or where this isn't going all the way around here like so, is where glass is going to be. So some of this rail isn't actually going to be used. Now I have to weigh out whether I'm going to rip this entire thing up and try again, or to just give up and let this be as it is. It does mean I'm using a little bit more rail than I need to, but I think for the time being I can cope with that. So that's only one, unfortunately. Get away, creeper. So we're going to have to figure out how we're going to do the others as well. Although I think I'll try and follow this model and try and go back one from where the wart is. And speaking of which, we actually need to go into the nether and gather a whole lot of that stuff. So we're probably going to need a shulker box or so of that stuff. So let's go in and find that stuff. And we're also need to make ourselves quite a number of hoes. So we'll get that stuff and then make our way into the nether, get ourselves some wart, and finish up those farms. Wart forest found, now let's get the wart. And while I'm gathering this, I probably should mention a few things. At the start of this episode, I did get quite a bit of warped wood from Blue, and I know he's gone into the nether and demolished quite a few forests, so hopefully if we fly around, we might need to go and get some rockets. We can find a number of forests that don't have any trunks. We can just find the warped wart. That's really a mouthful to say, warped wart. It's got a bit hard to say, but anyway. So we'll find quite a few of those around if we look hard. So we might need to do a little flying, and we should find quite a bit. I have literally no idea how much water I'm going to need. I have a feeling it's going to be in the region of 2 to 3 shulkers worth of stuff. So I'm going to have to make a few trips, I believe, into the nether to get stuff. Now, as you can see, my levels are quite a bit lower than I used to be. And that is because I stupidly decided to go into the nether without a pumpkin head, which I now have got myself. So I did actually die, and B-Boy had to come and give me quite a bit of stuff to get me back on my feet. But I was able to get my stuff, and that has been quite an experience. Once we get this tree, or actually I'll show you what I've got at the moment, quite a full inventory as you can see, but you can see we've got ourselves quite a bit of stuff. We might need to rearrange some of this stuff so we can get ourselves as much wart as we can possibly get. So quite a bit more to go, but once this shulker is full of stuff, we'll make our way back to the base and continue work on the first farm of today. Also, thinking about this, I find it a little bit ironic that I have to go into the warped forest to get myself some warped wart, and I'm getting myself some warped logs as well. The very stuff that I just ordered off Blue. I'm not sure if he's going to be happy about that, but whatever. I did get myself quite a lot of stuff from him, and it was reasonably cheap if I might say myself. It was probably a little bit unfair on him, but we shall hopefully be making it up to him in the near future. Now that we've made it back home, you can see I've made a little bit of progress on this side. I've put in the wart that's going to go all the way around the outside with a little step over there. So let's get rid of these mobs. I really do need to work on the mob proofing in here for the time being, and probably torches for the time being. But anyway, moving on to here. Now I'm trying to decide whether to just leave the wart as it is, or just go like this on top, because that is going to affect it. I'm thinking I probably should actually just get rid of all this rail, which I've just placed, and put in new segments. Now, on this end, it shouldn't be too hard, given where the rails are. So if I try this for a second, put in the wart like this. I really should have a hoe on me, but I don't. And then put in like that. That works well. So I just need to work out how I'm going to do the rest as well, without disrupting this rail line too much. This bit took quite a bit of time, but I reckon I've managed to fix it up. It's not the best patterns in the world, and it could definitely be improved, but I think we've covered quite a bit. Now, one thing I haven't considered is that this thing might take quite a bit of time, and it might take quite a lot of resources on top of it. So, just sort of stuffing that sentence up, but what I mean is that with the minecart going all the way around here, and then it might just deposit over here. So what that might be just a little bit too much for the minecart hopper to take, and of course, as it goes round again, it'll be collecting even more stuff. So we might need to send 2 along here, which is not ideal. From what I've experienced in the past, having 2 means that one is eventually going to bump into the other, and it's just a whole lot of really, really annoying things. So we'll have to think about that. But let's leave that one for the time being. Actually no, let's not dump all the stuff. Let's actually fill up the rest of our things. Fix up this sandbar here, and then we're going to have to create some rails. So what I need to do here is do something like this across all the 4 quadrants, or whatever we call them, and go from there. A little bit of time has passed and I've got myself quite a lot of rails in here. I've got this one done here and I've got 2 others done. Let's just hop ourselves up here. Get that thingamabob, come on. There we go. So 1 there, 1 here, and I think the 3rd one is over here. Let's just quickly run around and... Okay, it's not this one, but it is this 3rd one over here. So we've got 3 of them done, and the main reason why I didn't finish the 4th is... Firstly, I'm not sure what I'm going to do over here, but secondly, I've run out of gold, so we don't have any gold to finish off. So, the next bit we need to do as well is to figure out what pattern we're going to do up here, because I have got myself a lot more wart. I went looking for quite a lot more wart and got myself 2 and a bit shulkers of the stuff. So it should hopefully be enough to cover up the stuff just the way I've done over here. Our next stage is to cover this entire thing with dirt, as well as to make sure all these rails actually work. And of course to figure out where we're going to shovel the stuff into. So let's figure out that second one first. So we are over here. We should be able to see where this stuff goes. So if we hop down to the next level down, which is this one I believe. Come over here, we can see the thingamabobs, the rails are going to be under here. So if we had the minecart hopper going along, the hoppers going along here, along here and into these chests over here, that should work. And the same over here, over there, and lastly on the 4th quadrant here. So that actually could work quite well. We're going to need quite a lot of hoppers though, so we might need to borrow some iron from our iron farm shop to make the stuff. Now, I'm not sure if I mentioned, but I said I was going to get Mirror to give me or sell me quite a bit of dirt, so we're going to have to wait for that to happen before we can actually get started on the farms themselves. So while we wait for that, we shall also make sure the rails all work, and for that we're going to need to get underneath the farm and put in a whole lot of these levers as well as the hoppers. So let's get the levers done first. Actually, no, we should get the hoppers done first, because those are slightly more, well, they're not more important, but we're going to need them first. And we're going to need them to be in place. So let's get ourselves some hoppers, and we're going to need quite a few of these because we need to make sure that the minecart hoppers drop off as much as possible, if not everything, in their collection chamber, and there will be a lot of stuff. So where is my hoppers, or where are my hoppers? They should be in here somewhere. If not, we're going to have to raid our iron farms shops. Nah, only 8. That's not going to be nearly enough. Oh well, we're going to have to do some hunting. Now, as we want the hoppers to go into here, we're going to have to make sure, let me see, should I go from this side or from this side is the question. So if I have that, the hopper line's going to come along here, and I'm going to have to be very careful here to make sure we did get this right. But actually, let's just make our way up. I chose the wrong one to do this in, but let's make our way up, get rid of this log here, and the next one on top of that. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, we're going to have to do... come on, let's put that back. Okay, so if we go here, the hopper line's going to come along here and then insert itself into there, which isn't the best. However, if we come along here, the hopper line will come along here and drop into there, which actually works, I think. So we'll try from the opposite end. We'll try from here, and as you can see, I've already taken out one because I was testing a bit. So let's go up to the next level. And there we go. So let's see, we'll have to take out a fair number of these rails, but we do need to leave space to make sure that the powered rail, or not the powered rail, the levers do not stop the hoppers, do not lock the hoppers. That's the word I'm looking for. So if we go and hoppers into there for now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now put the rail back on top. Do I have rail? Yes, I do. Good. And then we should be able to put lever, and then levers like this, which should work. So let's go 1, 2. Okay, and now we just need to make sure we get a lever here, and then let's see. We're gonna have to go from the second lever, which makes it a little bit easier. Now that I've got hoppers in, I can actually measure everything. So let's get our levers in and test out the minecart hoppers. Now, I believe I've got this all done. It took a little bit of fiddling around, but we did manage to figure out the rails. So if we just send this minecart about, I think I've tested already, but we just need to send the minecart going about, and let's see if it works. And aside from Blueso actually destroying or stopping the rails from going, we actually have a successfully working minecart. You can see it going away. So let's stop it, and we'll put it back in due course. We might need to go like that. So that should do for now, and hopefully we get ourselves a little railway going soon. So the next bit we need to do is to work on the other 4, or the other 3, I should say. I actually did do the last quarter in a bit. I had to buy some gold off Blue as well for a stack for six diamonds, I think it was. So you can see there a nice rail path. So I'm not quite sure which one I did last, but we should be able to get ourselves a nice rail line. So let's get ourselves a nice powered rail, or powered all this, and then we should be able to work on the next part. And I thought I'd record a little bit because Blue's up here and he's helping me. So he's just standing on one of the few blocks I need to power. So if I put 1, and then go forward a bit, please, and 2, 3. So now if I power those ones, you should see the 3 light up.
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
So we'll have to continue that for a little bit more. So we've powered the 3, so we might need to go over to the next line. So a few more to your right.
Yeah.
So we try and get as many as possible in that line.
I'm on a power rail.
Yeah, so we want an unpowered rail now.
Okay,
so if you see where I am, we should be approximately here, and then that line.
I think you're crouching, so I can't see you there.
Sorry.
So unpowered rail.
Did that one power?
There, yeah, I did.
Okay, so in that line, and
but you
then
skipped one though.
I did.
Yep.
Okay.
You have to go back a bit.
Did that power?
No, it's over here by my gamer tag. It's like
sorry.
You have to go, okay, so the one you powered, you have to go 1 block over to your
like that
left. Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Okay. I can't get rid of that block without destroying the rail. Okay. Thank you. So we'll keep doing that, and we'll come back when we have finished them all.
All right.
Well, thanks very much to Blue, we've managed to get all the rails in and all the rails powered. So we're just testing the minecarts at the moment, making sure they're roughly halfway, and I didn't miss my opportunity with that one. If I put this one... Yeah, actually, I'll let this one go all the way through, and then can you tell me when it's roughly halfway, which should be about here somewhere. So just tell me when it reaches that line, and I'll push the next one along. So thank you very much for this, Blue. It's been quite a help. Certainly a lot easier than doing on my own.
Place it now.
There we go. Pushed. And we just need to do the same for 2 more.
Alright.
Well, thanks very much to Blue for helping with that. All the rails are in, all the minecarts are in. We've got them all done, and we can continue. Now you can see I've put the dirt in. We're going to be working on this in the near future. So what I think I'll do to finish up is to work mostly on this one, put in the rest of the wart and the cap around it, whatever this is, the warped wood. It's really a mouthful. Warped wart. Okay, let me start again. We're going to put in the warped wood stairs, and of course the warped wart. They really should come up with a better name for that. So let's get on that now, and then we'll finish up today's episode. And that looks pretty good. It's pretty well done, I reckon, and it is well lit. You can see, of course, the patches and of squares or lines or I'm not sure what they call them, crosses, where the light doesn't quite reach. So that looks pretty good. Now I'm unable to do these ones at the moment because I can't quite reach if I'm like this, or it could reach, but it'll take a lot longer than if I had the dirt ready to go. So I think I'll leave these for when Mira has delivered the dirt, and probably sign off here, because I do need to get a bit of glass, but we're going to have a different plan for that in an upcoming episode. So glass over here, and of course glass to replace this, which is going to be a pretty major project, as well as the sorting system itself, which probably should be just hoppers going into the chests. And looking at these guys, they have pretty much fully planted their stuff. That one's fully planted. This one's fully planted. I'm just glad these outside farms don't need farmers or things like that, because these are really a pain. They'll just be automatic stuff. Actually, that creeper there confirms something. You can see, he spawned in the middle of the light, but it does confirm that this isn't, or is a spawning platform, so I'm going to have to be quite careful how I manage this. The way I'm looking at it, I'm going to have the seeds here, then a gap and a piston or whatever facing down, and then that would mean that this would get pushed into the ground, so that should work quite nicely. But after that long clip, it's time for me to say goodbye, because we have run out of time for today. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.